Hello and welcome to my weekly bench update or recap what's been going on the bench. And on the bench we have the 41 Plymouth and the 34 Ford pickup for the scale build of Gentleman. Not a ton of progress to speak of on those guys. I spent a lot of the week invested in videos, some good, some bad, but like Wednesday I spent 3 or 4 hours recording a before you buy featuring 3D printed Ford Flatheads, just kind of showing off like a dozen different flatheads and the VCG speed shop, and realized that by the time I got done it was going to be a 45-minute documentary and most people probably won't want to watch it, so I scrapped it all. But I still had to make a video come Thursday for a before you buy, so I just did the VCG Resins Ford Flathead and that speed shop, which was pretty cool. Glad I got to show that off. And then we did a video for the oldest and coolest kits. So again, I spent a lot of time away from the bench and doing videos, but some weeks are better than others. But I will recap what we have done. We'll start over here. We got some of the suspension kind of painted up, as that was all just kind of flat red. Pick out a few different colors there for that. A couple of arms there. One thing you can notice is the wheels. They did get painted. They turned out much brighter than I was expecting. I just used this crocus yellow craft paint, which has a nice pastel look until apparently you put semi-gloss clear on it, and then it really pops. So kind of on the fence on that and how that's going to look. Might be a little too much, but we might also just go with it. And on the inside, we did a little bit on the seats. Kind of on the fence on how I'm doing this project yet, whether I want to do it, you know, as a clean hot rod or as a weathered hot rod. But I did kind of weather up the seats here, give them a little bit of a used feel. I think they turned out pretty well, and I think I might do some light weathering, maybe just a little bit of salting on the body. And that's the way I kind of originally planned to do it. That's why I did the black primer, which you've seen it last time in. Now it's got the red primer. So now we have kind of that base primer for the color, and we'll probably be doing that tomorrow, getting color on both of these guys. But I'll probably just do a little bit of salting on the body and call it good. Maybe rub down a few spots, give it just a slight used look, but nothing noticeable. What else can we talk about? Still waiting to work on the firewall, but on the firewall I did trim off some of the stuff there. I plan on doing some wiring. So you have to paint the floor there. I did repaint the frame, as that was super glossy last time. Now it's just a kind of a satin matte black, and I think that looks a lot better. Got the gas tank painted. We masked off the headlights to keep those gloss black. We painted the spring in there. The wheels are just slipped on at the moment. Painted the drums. Those are kind of hard to tell. I painted it with a burnt iron, I think it was. Thought it would give it a kind of lightly rusted look. Then the engine. This is kind of where I've stuck and running around in circles, and pretty ironic considering the video I tried to make on Wednesday, and I didn't realize until Thursday the error I had with picking this engine, and that is right there. This guy comes with an alternator, and I think Phil said he wanted us to be running like generators and stuff, so I'm kind of stuck there, trying to figure out which way to go. If I want to try to get that alternator cut off of there and get a generator put in place, but I don't know really green on this 3D printed how well it'll cut or if it's going to break, and what I can put on there. I do have some other 3D printed Ford Flatheads. Not really ones that I planned on using for this build, but essentially backups. Well, this guy doesn't have an alternator or a generator, and it's got just like stock manifold exhaust. I really wanted to run the hot rod headers with that guy and that Frenzel supercharger. And one other option I have is this Ford supercharged one, a little better option, but it's also got the Ardun heads, which I'd love to run, but then it's only got zoomy headers to run those Ardun heads. So this guy might be what I end up going with. Maybe I can run the hot rod headers on this and be good enough, but this one does actually come with a generator setup, so it's kind of weird that it does have a separate little generator down in there. So I'm just stuck. I go back and forth on what I want to do and how I want to tackle things, and I really need to get that engine situated so I can get that firewall cut out, because I know I did channel everything down, so it's going to need this hole opened up, but I'm not sure how far until we decide an engine and get that thing mounted in there, because I have to create motor mounts and all that for it. But there's that project, that mess at the moment. Moving on to the 41 Plymouth. Again, we got the engine. It did tone it down a little bit with that Tamiya wash. We got a couple of the things painted. That's pretty much all that this engine is just silver with some black components on it. The body, I decided to fill in that seam, and then when it comes time to paint, we will at least simulate that line continuing down the front, and then gave this a full coat of primer to sand off everything, get her smoothed up before paint. So that should be getting paint real soon along with the pickup. Again, I think we had the frame done last time. Painted the tank on this one the same time as the Ford. We did get the interior painted. Kind of this khaki and brown going on. Again, we're going with like a gold and brown on the exterior, so hopefully those all look good together. And here's the front seat. Has the brown on the back. I think that'll look all right. We will see once we get some color on, make sure it looks all right. But if you guys have any recommendations on my Ford Flathead predicament, whether you would try to tackle this alternator and turn it into a generator, or just go with this guy, maybe do something different with the headers, go with the Ardun and the zoomies. I don't know how appropriate zoomies would be for a scale build of Gentleman. And then I have this one, but this one doesn't really help me as far as an alternator or generator. I'd still have to create a mount and hang one, but there is that. Hopefully next week goes a little bit better in the shop, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.